today's video, I'd just like to share that 94% of my viewers aren't subscribed. So if you are feeling generous, be sure to drop a like and a sub, and let's get right into today's video. Thank you. Howdy, my name is Daxio, and this is Plugged In News. And in today's pin update, we have New Orleans faces 3 weeks without electricity after Hurricane Ida downed 2,000 miles of power lines across Louisiana as looting begins and sewage companies warn outage has stopped pumps from working. And for the second story today, we have last U.S. military rescue plane leaves Afghanistan, American citizens left behind. Let's get right into that. And for the first story today, this is coming from the dailymail.com by Melissa Coing, and it is New Orleans faces 3 weeks without electricity after Hurricane Ida downed 2,000 miles of power lines across Louisiana as looting begins and sewage companies warn outage has stopped pumps from working. And it goes on to read, New Orleans faces 3 weeks with no electricity in the wake of Hurricane Ida after the extreme weather event downed more than 2,000 miles of energy lines across Louisiana. Entergy Louisiana officials said on Monday it may take days for utility crews to determine the extent of the damage to New Orleans' power grid and even longer to restore the power in the area, with Bloomberg reporting that repairs could take until late September to complete. We have a lot of rebuilding ahead of us, the company wrote on Twitter. We'll be better prepared to give restoration estimates once assessments are done. By 7 a.m., the company said more than 850,000 people were without power in Louisiana after Hurricane Ida snapped cables, damaged buildings, uprooted trees, and spread debris. On Monday morning, 216 substations, 207 transmission lines, and more than 2,000 miles of transmission lines were down. Footage of a store being looted in NOLA was captured by a drone photographer on Monday, with locals filmed rifling through an ATM and taking drinks. That has sparked fears that the city could be hit by a crime spiral during this prolonged darkness. And I'll throw up this video at the end of the clip here, or at the end of this segment, so you guys can see that. It's pretty cool that it's a drone footage, but it is looting. Looting's never good for the community, for really anyone. And it goes on to read, meanwhile, the Sewer and Water Board of New Orleans said most, if not all, of its 84 sewage pumping stations were without power. It was relying on generators to keep pumps working to drain the stormwater out of the city and bring drinking water in. Officials are now warning New Orleans may be without power and air conditioning for more than 3 weeks, according to Bloomberg, with Mayor Latoya Cantrell urging people and businesses to share the power that you have. While the power is dependent on generators, I'm calling on all of our people and businesses to have the capacity in the city to be good neighbors. Share the power you have, open your business with people to recharge their devices. And usually I'd be ripping on Biden because Biden hasn't done really much in his presidency that's been good, but right now President Joe Biden on Monday has announced the federal government has sent over 200 generators to the area as 1 million people remain without power. The president has also added that he asked the Federal Aviation Administration to authorize the use of drones to assess Ida's damage to energy infrastructure. Biden said that he has also ordered the Pentagon and Department of Homeland Security to make available any satellite imagery that could help assess the extent of the damage. Additionally, he said he is activating cooperate cell phone access so that if one cell phone carrier loses service, their customers in that area can temporarily switch to another cell phone carrier. That came after AT&T announced its network had gone down for 40% of its customers in Louisiana, which combined with power shortages for 1 million people made life a nightmare for hard-hit residents trying to make emergency calls or work from home. I mean, Biden's doing some good, but check out this video of the looting happening. This is drone footage. All right, and for the next story today, we have breaking. The last U.S. military rescue plane leaves Afghanistan, American citizens left behind. This is coming from Ryan Vedra from the Daily Wire, and it goes on to read, and I'm going to rip on Biden now because here's an Afghanistan story. The last U.S. military plane carrying evacuees out of Afghanistan has taken off and is almost out of Afghanistan airspace, ending the U.S. military presence in Afghanistan, even as numerous American citizens remain trapped behind enemy lines. General Kenneth F. McKenzie, the commander, United States Central Command, said at a press conference that the Biden administration was still in the process of trying to get American citizens out of Afghanistan, even though the U.S. now no longer has a presence there. Department of Defense spokesman John Kirby said at a press conference earlier in the day that the Biden administration does not anticipate a military role in the effort of trying to get additional U.S. citizens out of Afghanistan. McKenzie said that he thinks that the number of Americans still trapped in Afghanistan numbered in the low hundreds, and that there were no American citizens that were evacuated on the last U.S. military planes to leave the country. Democratic President Joe Biden claimed during an interview with ABC News host George Stephanopoulos a couple weeks ago that U.S. troops would remain on the ground in Afghanistan until all Americans have been evacuated. So basically, Joe Biden sat there and lied through his teeth. I'll show you this clip right here.
If that's the case, they'll all be out.
Because we've got like 10 to 15,000 Americans in the country right now, right? And are you committed to making sure that the troops stay until every American who wants to be out is out?
Yes.
How about our...
Yeah, that's Joe Biden lying through his teeth, saying, "Oh yeah, we'll get all the citizens home. We'll make sure all our troops are there until the citizens come back." Well, you lied. This is what happens when you have a feckless, spineless administration. Seriously. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, drop a like, drop a sub down below, drop a comment, let me know how I'm doing, let me know what I can do to improve, and thanks for staying plugged in. Peace out, boys.